All right, so on to the next one. I am putting my INCRA fence on my new table saw and taking it off of my old table saw, and I'm putting an old aftermarket fence back on the old saw. And so what that's going to allow me to do is sell that saw. I've already sold it. Got a guy ready to come pick it up as soon as I get it converted back over. Toyed with the idea of selling the INCRA fence with it, but I just got to thinking about how much I use that fence system for day-to-day woodworking and just decided to hold on to it. So this is an experiment of how I can install the INCRA fence on this Grizzly table saw, keeping the rolly legs that came with it. So that is one of my goals, because when I had this fence put on the older saw, it was a little bit tippy on this side. So keeping those outrigger legs is very important to me. So I've already kind of gotten a head start. I chopped some metal out of here and here, so I can simply slide my rig up in there and then tighten those, and then I'll have to do the same thing on the back. So bring you in on time lapse while we work on that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what I've accomplished so far. I took off the leftmost wing. So this is actually the third saw this has been on. The saw that I got it off of first, he had taken this left wing off, and I didn't do that when I put it on this one on the left side. Didn't like it there, so I moved the whole thing over to the right side. The problem with that is it's really hard to do intricate work on the router table. But the issue with having that wing right there and just making it longer is this bar here is only so long. You can get longer ones, but this one's only so long, and so it wasn't actually allowing me to cut over 24 inches on this side of the table saw, which is important to me because I want to be able to cut a 4x8 sheet of plywood in half like a hot dog. So got that done, took the wing off, put this here. I think I'm going to like it better there. Got it put here and here, and then he actually had a riving knife that had to come in from the back on his original saw, and so he cut this in half. This went in this area on his saw, but I've obviously don't need that on mine, and so you kind of got to play with where you put it, because you got to get 2 braces on there, and then I got a hole here that I drilled for one to go into the table. That's just a through hole, not threaded. And then I'm going to put another one right here. And so with the INCRA fence, you kind of just put everything loosely into place first, is my experience. And then you come back in with that side bracket there, I believe it is, and use that turned upside down. Will tell you how high this part needs to be in space to ride along the saw this way. So we're going to get this side piece right here put on, and then we'll go ahead and get one of those side pieces off. I got to watch a quick video to remember how to do that, because it's been about a year since I've done that. We'll get that put on, and then we'll work on putting the other fence on this one. So yeah, another time lapse. All right, so still going off memory because I like to see if I can remember. Took this side piece off. I'm quite confident that this is how you adjust this height here for the actual fence rail here. So we're gonna try that. So this is set up. off camera, I got these adjusted and square. Got to be sure that this part and this part are square to each other and square to this thing. And then it's just a matter of getting everything adjusted up and it's ready to go. So right now I can come almost all the way up to the blade. I can move over just a little bit more to get it at 0 for the saw. But if I wanted to use my router table, you just loosen these 4 hand wheels and then slide the whole thing down. So that's nice to be able to have 2 tools in the same space. Also gives you a little bit more rigidity or outfeed table on the left side. And then this is obviously pretty easy to adjust back and forth. So you want to be sure when you get this on, like I said, that this is square to that and that your 2 arms are square to each other. I can tell you this is the 3rd time I've put this fence on a saw, and it has not gotten any easier to do. So just persevere and take your time, and don't be afraid to do something 3 or 4 times to get it perfect, because you know you got this this table saw fence system because it was accurate, and it's only as accurate as your setup. So take your time, get it dialed in right, make you some test cuts, make sure you're square, and then enjoy the INCRA fence. Y'all have a good one.